Hey, how are you?
Good.
So it's actually funny because I was just telling John this is every time I write a speech and I'm like, I'm gonna write this speech, you know, I'm gonna say it, I get to the actual event and it has nothing to do with the people in the room. And it always happens that way. And so some of the things I did write down is like this week I was like, I need to be inspired. And I kept calling people, I'm like, I need some inspiration. They're like, I'm having a bad day, it's Mercury retrograde, I don't feel like talking. I'm like, somebody needs to inspire me, right? So I kept going over and over again, what is it that I can do to talk to individuals? You know, we have Toastmasters here, we have an author, we have a radio host, and it's funny, I'm looking in the room right now and I know a few different people. Laura, who is my big sister who's known me since I was in 6th grade. I think if anybody knows Doris knows that I'm very quirky. I'm a quirky human being. If I read something, it would be like, hi, I'm Doris Hage. I hope all of you are having a great day today. That's how I sound. Now when I go out on a whim, I feel like that's who I am as a person, right? Maybe the perfect speech, no. Maybe the most inspirational thing, I don't know. But I gotta come up here and be myself. So I did have a quote, and I want this to kind of set the energy of the room. And I read it, and it says, I love the woman I am today. I love the woman I am today. I love the woman I've become because I fought hard to be here. Because I fought hard to be here. Right? And anybody can say that. Men. I love the man I am today because I fought hard to be here. Everyone sitting here has a story. They have a background. They have something that they've been through in life, that they fought. Maybe you're going through something right now. Maybe there's something that you're going through right now. Okay, Mercury retrograde is real, people. All right, I'm sure a lot of you have heard Mercury retrograde, and that's something that I can explain a lot about. Because spirituality and astrology has been a big part of my life. It's helped me get through. Even a psychic I went to, the first thing she said to me, she said, you have a lot of bad luck. You have a lot of bad luck. And I've been through some stuff, but it's been spirituality that has really, really helped me. So one of the things is I want you guys to walk away with a couple tools. I know Luther says I'm at Specs Howard. I'm not at Specs Howard anymore. It was a big part of my life. I was the internship coordinator at Specs Howard School of Media Arts, which if you guys are not familiar with, it's broadcasting, it's radio, it's a lot of arts. When I was young, when anyone asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I used to say teacher, teacher, teacher. I didn't grow up with a white picket fence, and Laura again, hi. Met her when I was 6th grade through the Big Brother, Big Sister program, and she's taught me a lot. But I always said I wanted to be a teacher. Like, I love helping people. It's one of those things that I see somebody at the grocery store having a breakdown, I'm like, how can I help you? You know, what can I do to help you? If I'm seeing somebody sad, I'm stopping to help that person, and I want to talk it out. It was even, as I got older, at the bar, you know, if somebody's having a drink, they're having a breakdown, and I'm sitting, I'm like, how can I help you? What can I do? And everyone's like, dude, we want to just have fun. And I'm like, I can't stop that. I can't stop that. That's who I am. It's a natural thing inside of me, right? So I had this motion. I went to Eastern Michigan University, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with, it's a great teaching school. Well, any boss that has ever worked with me, any teacher that's ever worked with me has always said, love you, Doris, but you question everything. You make things harder on me. Even my first sales job is they're like, you're supposed to do A, B, C, and D. And I'm like, I don't want to do A, B, C, and D. But what if that? What if that? What if that? What if that? And that's what Colette, you say, is that entrepreneur kind of spirited, is when you are operating in a passion of yours, it's not a rule book. If people will tell you follow this rule, and you're like, but no, I feel this gut thing that I want it this way, or I think it's going to turn out this way. If you don't have a passion tied into it, it's going to be a rule book. How many of us has followed a rule book that's just like, all right, we got to go A, B, C, D, right? And then there's something that sparks up that's like a passion of yours where you're like, I want to research more. I want to go online. I want to hear more about it. I want to talk to somebody else about it, right? That's passion. And so you guys are actually going to do an activity today. It's something that I've done with over 2,000 of my students that is going to help you at least identify one core passion of yours, okay? It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So going back to Eastern Michigan University, I'm in the classroom and I remember it was a marketing class, Mr. Milner. And I'm on this test, right? We have this test. And I read the situation and it's funny, it's like if so-and-so owns this business and this happens, what do you pick? And there's A, B, C, and D. I raise my hand and Mr. Milner is like, oh Jesus, Doris, here we go. And I'm like, but it can't just be A, B, C, and D. I said, because what if it's a retail shop? What if it's a service industry? What if the place is on fire? You know, what if? And he said, Doris, just go from what you read in the book. And I said, but this is a guy that wrote the book that had an experience that he's trying to tell me, but I don't believe that. Long story short, I dropped out of class, all right? And that's when I questioned. I don't want to be a teacher, but I do want to be a teacher. But I don't know if I want to be in a classroom with the same 30 students, with the same subject, from a book that someone's telling me I got to teach everyone. I don't know if I want to do that. So I went into sales. Gosh darn it, I was the best salesperson. Why do you think I was a good salesperson?
Because you question things.
I questioned things. What else?
You cared about people.
Thank you. I can be a teacher and I can care for people and I can make money. Right? I think everybody in this room can remember that. I hate to say that word, but that sneaky salesperson. That salesperson that pushed you and like, you know, like says all this stuff and I'm like, okay, chill, relax, right? You can also remember that salesperson that gave you service, that cared about you, that really wanted to provide something for you. And the one thing I said in sales is providing a solution to a problem you have. Because if we go out to buy something, why are we buying something?
Because you need it.
Because we need it, right? There's a problem that we have, right? Or something that we need, and we need a solution. And most of the time we buy based on service, right? Is somebody caring? I'll tell you what, most of the people I've sold to were friends on Facebook. I know their family, I know their story, I know everything. So I sold for tuxedos. That was my first job, is Tuxedo World. And you know, I would get to know, I knew the bridal party, I knew the family. I've been to, you know, there was a problem, I'm sewing the guy's, you know, cuff right before his wedding. And then I went and sold phones, I sold internet, and I forgot, it's not that I forgot about that teacher, it was still kind of inside of me, right? So I ended up, this last part of it was working at a laser hair removal place, and I hated the CEO. I hated the business owner, I hated the way he operated, I thought he was sneaky. He would tell me, Doris, I just need you to go do this and say it's 25% off. And I said, well, is it 25% off? He's like, no, but just say it. I'm like, Doris does not just say it. I have to believe it, right? So then I was going to go on to be an esthetician, right? And you make money. It's easy. It's your, you know, it's something. And as a friend of mine said, Doris, when you see blood, you like faint. You don't even like touching other people. How are you going to go be an esthetician? I said, well, it's helping. You know, I'm going to make money. And a friend of mine called. He said, the old Fox 2 News director is starting a school. It's a for-profit, proprietary, post-secondary school for the film industry. Because I don't know if you guys remember the film industry when it came here to Michigan.
Yeah.
Is you would get 38% tax incentives for shooting here. But if you hired Michigan workers, it was 42% back. Problem is, how many people in Michigan worked on a film set? One. We got one. We got one over there, right? We got one out of how many, right? So these two guys came up with a great concept. Let's teach somebody that they already know something and show them and introduce them how to work on a film set. And then this is more jobs, right? Jobs, I see over even here. That's more jobs. Doris, they need someone just to be an admin. You're going to work 20 hours a week. Whatever the case is. All right, I'll try it, you know? I'll try it. That was the day that changed my life. That was the day I knew that I can do something I passionately love and make money. That was the day. Because I help construction workers. I mean, when I say students of mine, I'm not talking K through 8. I'm talking, I have students, hey Peter, Peter is one of my first students, but I've had students from the ages from 18 to 65. I've had veterans, I've had people who are, you know, a few of my girls, which thank goodness she just announced that she put a down payment on her house. She was homeless when I started working with her. And now, and that's the great thing, what he said too, is when you have a passion towards something, helping her and working with her and teaching her how to do things differently. She put a down payment on a house working for GM. She didn't learn a lick in the classroom, but it was okay because those skills, you know, translated. I then went and opened, I'd say 2 schools. I wasn't the CEO, I wasn't the owner. I was the background girl. I was the one in the background, making sure things were happening and doing it, and then I'm just watching the CEO make all that money. But it didn't bother me because I had a passion for it, right? When you love what you're doing, you love it. You know, I went on to technology, cybersecurity. I was at Specs Howard, and Specs Howard still post-secondary school. I mean, Specs still goes to work. He's 90 years old, goes to work, but he created that from a dream, right? An idea. His passion still today is that same passion he had from before. It's still that same passion. So when I say living authentically, living in your gut, we all started when we were young. How many of you can remember, what did you want to be when you were younger? Can anyone remember? You can shout them out if you want.
Teacher.
Okay.
Teacher, attorney,
Okay.
And director.
Okay.
A designer.
Okay. All right.
artist,
Okay.
Restaurant owner.
Restaurant owner. Okay. Now who here is living what they wanted to be when they, okay?
Yes.
Okay. And there's a reason for that, right? We grow up and we have this idea, and life starts telling us other things, right? Life starts, your mom or your dad, you can't do that, there's no money.
Right.
Someone else saying, well, my friend did that and it didn't work out for them, so you can't do that. Or this happens, or life happens, or you're broke, or you have a bill and you think this. It's all life, right? That was all external. That wasn't internal, that was external that came to you. We made the decision of how we were gonna operate it. Okay? So one thing I wanna do, and because I know time is ticking and we still have it, is we're gonna do a little challenge, a little thing, okay? And so what I need you to do is, does anybody get a piece of paper out and a pen? Does anyone not have one?
paper,
Paper.